Hello, I'm Scott Yuknis for Climate Impact Company with today's Climate Crop Brief. This is the outlook for July, August, and September for the United States. Let's take a look at the current pattern which is being generated by the sea surface temperature anomaly pattern across the northern hemisphere. We're looking at two zones of interest, very warm temperatures in the northeast Pacific and also in the Gulf of Mexico over to the Bahamas. Over these two warm water zones, high pressure is dominant, and in between, a cool trough has been bringing the wet and cool weather to the Great Plains much of the spring season and now into early summer. So the question is, will this pattern continue? You can see that the soil moisture pattern is very wet across the Great Plains due to this upper trough that I just described, but there are some dry areas over the far northwest and far northern plains. Again, the upper pattern over the last 30 days has featured a dominant trough across the northern U.S., certainly affecting the Great Plains weather, while a big ridge has been just off the west coast of the United States and across the Gulf of Mexico over into the Bahamas. So that's been the pattern over the last 30 days. So will that pattern continue? Let's take a look at the July outlook. Well, it looks like the wet soil moisture across the Great Plains will continue to spawn clouds, showers, and cool weather. The hot weather for July looks like it will be over the northwestern part of the United States as that upper ridge just off the west coast shifts slightly to the east and sits right on the west coast for July. But in the Great Plains, the upper trough is persistent. It is dry across the Corn Belt for the most part. That's good news. But more wet weather, and it could be excessive, is likely over the Mid-South. Taking a look at the August outlook, that upper trough looks like it stays in place over the Great Plains, so temperatures are going to stay on the cool side, and the wet weather belt will shift further to the north, right over the Corn Belt for August, for the end of summer. A drier pattern will emerge in the Gulf region, which is good news. So that means that tropical cyclone activity is unlikely as we finish the summer season. The hot weather will be over the southwest and on the west coast in August, but no warm-up for the Great Plains. In September, the pattern is likely to shift. High pressure will ridge across the northern portion of the United States and bring us much warmer than normal temperatures for much of the growing areas in the U.S. And welcome dry climate as well over the Mid-South down into Texas, with the wet weather shifting into the southeast portion of the United States. It looks like patchy, dry, and wet conditions across the Corn Belt for September, but summer's going to end on the warm side. Thanks for watching. This has been Scott Yuknis for Climate Impact Company.